trying to do.
No, I just wonder, how do you bring all the organizations together as one? Because it seems like one organization gives one protest, but they don't let the other organization know. You know, it's like everyone is invited, and everyone is just trying to make a name for themselves off Oscar Grant. How do you bring everyone together as one without the little conflict and bickering?
I think we've got to get open meetings. We've got to get some basic demands that we can all agree on. And then we've got to be trying to organize not just individuals, but organizations. We went tonight to the Central Labor Council meeting to try to get a resolution passed there, which they did pass, saying, you know, condemning what has been going on. We need those union leaders to call out all of their union. We need them to be calling out their union members. We need the churches in Oakland, of which there are many progressive churches, standing up. We need what in March, April, May 2006, every single, not every single, but the vast majority of Catholic priests stood up in their churches and said, you got to come out and defeat this anti-immigrant law. And people came out. We need those same people to be getting up in those churches and saying, you need to come out and win justice for Oscar Grant. And those priests need to say, I'm going to be there. And if I'm going to be there, you know you can be there. And, you know, let's stay together. We can stay together as a group. You should have no fear in coming out. We need high school organizing. We need people from the campuses. We need to make this as much like the actions of 2006 as we can, because those were huge, and they were the first defeat that the Bush administration experienced. We need to make this a real defeat for these cops.
But like, if you do it Monday through Friday, like at 2 or 3 o'clock, a lot of people can't get off work, and a lot of people can't afford to, you know, stay at work. So how come you couldn't do it like on a Saturday?
Absolutely.
Or a Sunday? You know, if everyone's going to church on Sunday, why can't everyone meet in front of bar on Sunday?
I agree. I think it could be, that's what we need to talk. We need to get the people, say, how can we get the most people out there, and let's do it.
Let's go.
I say do it on Saturday.
I say do it on Saturday. If everyone's meeting for church on Sunday, why can't everyone gather on Sunday? You know, all the churches bring everyone together as one on a Sunday.
Yeah. We gotta be, okay, Stephanie, you should talk.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Stephanie Montoya. Just like to say it's a pleasure to be here with you people. My heart goes out to, you know, Oscar Grant's family. My brother, he was killed by the police 9 years ago, and it was a cover-up as well. I don't know if you've seen me on the news, but just to touch on a little bit of what you guys are talking about, our family did a private prayer service for my brother recently, and to get the Catholic Church involved, I called every church, every Baptist church in Oakland, every Catholic church, my family members, and, you know, like I said, through churches, like, you know, I talk to a lot of the ministries, but church is a big thing, and I think in terms of, like, communication, it's a big thing. Our particular parish, they weren't really supportive of our prayer service because, like I said, the media and just the whole issue of, you know, like, the protests, you know, we made it clear that it was nonviolent. We just wanted, you know, something peaceful. So I mean, and I really agree in terms of coming together, because that's the only way something's gonna get done. And, you know, maybe we can set up like organizations to go to Merritt College and the local community college, Cal State Hayward, because people want to get involved. People know about Oscar Grant, they know about my brother, and people have been a victim of police brutality of some sort with the Oakland police, and it just needs to be taken care of. So that's just what I wanted to touch on. You know, I think church is, you know, is how we present it. You know, but I think church is a really good thing, as well as getting the young people involved. You know.
I just really agree with that. It's going to be the young people that are going to come out the most and the strongest, you know, because it's their lives, it's their future.
To reach them, to really, you know, because people feel it. They really do, you know, they really do.
I just want to ask, do folks know more about change.org? Because I got an email today from them saying that they've had this internet petition around Oscar Grant for a while, and they said tomorrow at 10 a.m. they were going to present 20,000 signatures on some letter of some kind, and that also they're calling for Perone, the second officer, to be arrested. And so we should, definitely
Link
give
up
it
with
to
them.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like, I feel like if we hit the campuses, to get some of the churches to move, it's gonna be getting a group of people forcing the ministers to come forward and do right.
I don't think you have to do that.
I don't think so.
Let me just say
I don't
that
think so.
in defense of the churches, since everybody's talking about that the first group that did anything on this was a group of us ministers. I want to really make that clear before anybody burned up a car, before anybody broke a window or a riot or anything like that. There was a group of us ministers, 20 of us, that demanded to meet with Orloff before he made any kind of a statement. And I just think that we just really need to get the record clear. That the story that day was, if it bleeds, it leads. They followed all of the riot and all that other crap that was going on. They didn't really deal with us going into Orloff's office and demanded that he come out and make a statement that he would not make until after the riot. And so there was a group of us ministers, 20 or 30 of us. And I'm saying that now because I'm feeling that people want to deal with the ministers or the church as almost like another institutional power that you got to fight the power with.
Yeah.
I'm saying we already are in the mix. As a matter of fact, we're the ones that open up the door for the public to even be involved, get the media involved. So that's already a resource that's mobilized, and you need to hook up with what's already there.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to be, because I do not, it seems, okay, there are probably like X hundred churches in Oakland. And
they weren't all involved in this, it's just a few.
And that's what I'm saying. There's the few that have been dedicated and determined to get justice. We need to see if we can broaden that out.
Truly.
To be some of the others, and some of the others, that's all I'm talking about.
I ain't see no white ministers out. You talk about Catholic priests. I ain't see no white ministers, no white churches, no white denomination speaking out the way that they could be.
Let me speak to that. Yeah. My brother and I are the same church. I'm Reverend Tasco, Reverend Buford. This is Pastor Brown of Miracles of Faith, and Reverend Buford and I are both from Allen Temple Baptist Church. And certainly Reverend Brown and I have been quite vocal in a public way. Some of you recognize. Reverend Brown and I also sit on the board of directors of the California Churches. And it wasn't even a week after this incident, we brought it to the board that there needed to be resolution of support, which has been generated, which means that every church that comes under the umbrella of the California Council of Churches is now on notice that they need to be in support of this. So it takes a while. We're trying to build a movement. We're trying to mobilize troops, but we can't mobilize prematurely. There clearly has to be a strategic plan, and what I see you doing tonight is the beginning of what needs to take place. Building a coalition is not an easy job, as you know. I'm glad to know that you are a lawyer. I am a medical doctor and a minister, and we have pastors here who are clearly experienced in counseling and organizing around social justice. I'm also a veteran of San Francisco State College's historic student strike that shut that campus down for 6 months, demanding ethnic studies department and dubious extension being the first student busted. But what this means is that there's a process of building a coalition. And one of the things that you've talked about doing is trying to link up with other organizations. And I would strongly recommend, because this is something we had to do as the Black Student Union, how to link with the Latino, the Chicano, the Asian American, Che, Students for Democratic Society, every major organization. We had to bring the heads of those groups together. Just like you're having us here today, you need to make telephone contact